or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the cutty bit thingy?
Yeah. Shunk.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 29, I believe, of What the F.A.Q, What the F.A.Q, your weekly question and answer show from us here at Flipside Music.
Where you get fact.
Right. You can totally get fact here.
Yeah,
So,
just got to submit a question. That's your point of entry.
yes,
for getting fact.
All you got to do is ask us a question, and we will answer it. Whether it's fucking right or wrong.
Or even relevant.
Yeah. I effed already. 30 seconds in. When I already was throwing F-bombs out. Sorry. Hopefully it went by quick.
Eventually we'll get like a timer. We should get one.
We just
like how long it goes.
Start a counter and then a timer and then a counter.
Yeah.
So if you guys are new here, first thing, it's like I said, question and answer show. Ask us a question about guitars, amplifiers, stuff like that. Life in general, we don't care. We'll answer it.
Yeah.
And
movies, food, all kinds of other subjects are always getting thrown in here.
Yes, and as always, I'm here with my lovely assistant and part-time hand model.
Yes.
Dylan.
XL hand model. You're the double XL hand model. I'll be the XL hand model.
It's like that video. What was the one? Was it the Foo Fighters?
It was Foo Fighters. I don't remember exactly which video, but yeah, where he has like the
giant hair.
Yeah, because he had like the spiky hair and the giant
hair. All right, well, we're going to jump right into this guy. Jake Yergert. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Hopefully, seems like we've met him recently, maybe.
You might know who he is.
Says he has green screen experience. So I think that was a reply to something we talked about last week, which must have involved doing something else for videos. But I think him and MJ do. So eventually we'll do proper green screen shenanigans.
I'd like to see if we could possibly figure out how to do green screen so I could fly by the end of the year.
Yes.
I mean, without all the other madness that's going on in 2020.
Well, that one seems like...
Why not have me fly around?
That should be easy.
Yeah, we should figure that out. So, thanks, Jake. Let's work on green screen action.
He also has a question.
Okay. Question is, in a sea of overdrive pedals, what is the best, most overlooked overdrive?
So the best, but also most overlooked. I have two answers for this one, but I think you should go first, just because I think one of them is going to be redundant, but I know one of them won't be.
Okay, so I'm going to go with one that is notable, and people know it. I think it is kind of like how he said, in the sea of boutique and import and all this other stuff that we have out there. I think people that know about it love it, and that have it love it and get it. But
I'm still pretty sure this is the same.
It's probably the same.
Yeah.
But it's just not as in the forefront as some other things that are out there right now. So,
yeah, it doesn't get as noticed as like some of its cousins from the same era.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Nobles.
Yeah.
ODR1. That's the one that I think is, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you should check it out. It's a really good overdrive, transparent.
Super versatile too, though. Because like if you want it to be like a thicker boost, you can do that. If you need it to be a pretty hairy overdrive, it does that. So I feel like that one's really versatile.
Yeah, and a nice light overdrive. So if you're looking for something to just throw, if you're not looking for a super heavy tone, but you want something that's got a little bit of hair on it, that's a good one to do. Now, they have two models currently. There's the mini and the full size. The full size does have a bass cut. Now they just made it with a bass cut, and
that does get pretty.
And that was the one thing that because I have one. I have a mini, and I like it. It's awesome, but it could be bassy, depending on what you're doing. So it's kind of like you almost want to get rid of it. Like,
well, I feel like on the neck pickup, it's just too much.
Right.
That like on the bridge, it sounds great. On the neck, it's a little too
thumpy. Yeah. And so what's nice is the new one. It's got the bass cut. You can take that right out of there because honestly, you got a good bass player. What the hell you need it in there anyway?
Not that much of it. Yeah.
Right. So that's my pick.
Yeah, that one was my first pick. My second pick would be the I think it's the Custom Badass Modified OD from MXR. That one's the one that it's gold and it's got 4 knobs. It's got a slight bass boost, so it's almost not the opposite of the ODR. But that one is like if you want a tube screamer, but you need like some of that weighted low end back. That's gonna be the one for me, especially because that was actually one Nico turned me on to here. But especially for like detuned metal stuff, that one is definitely an overlooked pedal for sure.
I think the Badass series sometimes gets a little bit.
Well, honestly, I think the name kind of hinders it a bit. I feel like people feel like it's a little cheesy, so they kind of and honestly too, a lot of them tend to also look like some of the other MXR pedals, so I think they also get just visually kind of overlooked.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty relatively plain, but they're good pedals. I mean the custom, the one you just mentioned, the custom.
Yeah.
Then you got the 78 distortion. Right.
Yeah, that one's a really good kind of Marshall-esque kind of drive.
And then you got it. Then there's one more, and I can't remember what it is right off the bat. But all of them are good in the right context.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, I guess you could say that for just about any pedal, but I think that one.
That one in particular, because it has like a nice boost around like 120 hertz or so, which is about the lowest on the guitar you would want to boost anyway. So it's like right at the good spot to just kind of thicken things up. But still, you know, captures that mid-range drive that most people want for metal. So
yeah, those are good pedals. So check them out and give them their due. And I think they stack well with other things too that I've noticed. So, you know, just something to peek at if you're interested.
Right.
All right. Moving on. Next.
Yeah. So we got one from Facebook, Johnny B. This one is, I hear there's an EVH Frankie demo in the works. So yes, we do have one in the works that'll actually probably be releasing close to when this does.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much done. Just needs one more look over pretty much. But his question for that one is, what is your guys' favorite Van Halen album and then your favorite Van Hagar album?
Ooh. Okay, so let me just touch on the Frankie demo real quick. So we had our buddy Greg come in, and he came in. We just kind of sat around, did some Van Halen inspired riffs. So if you guys do see the video, please note that there's notes that aren't right.
But they're not 100%. Yeah.
Right, and we did that because we didn't want to get dinged from
just in case
from YouTube or whatever. But moving on, so we do have that, and actually we have a couple in stock. So if anybody's interested in the Frankie, let us know. So favorite album
by Van Halen,
regular Van Halen,
and then Van Hagar. I know for Van Hagar right away, I have more debate with like regular Van Halen, but I'm not as acquainted with the catalog as you would be. So,
well, the regular Van Halen, I would say. See, this is a tough one because for me. It's a toss-up between Fair Warning and 1984.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I love the thing is with 1984.
I really thought 2 was going to be somewhere in there for you, but
yeah, all the early ones are good. So, but Fair Warning has just got some killer tunes, and I was actually just listening to it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Good timing.
So, like, I really like Fair Warning, but 1984, there's production value. It just jumps out of the speaker. You know, and then like Hot for Teacher, and then Top Jimmy is one of my favorite tunes. Just because he's just ripping it. Man.
Well, I have a similar point for my Van Hagar pick because I felt like the production suffered after '84 until about the mid '90s. Because like when you listen to some of that stuff, and I've gone back to it at different points, I have a really hard time with his tone on the early Van Hagar stuff.
The first one back, which was 5150. I didn't like his tone at all.
No, I didn't like. Well,
there was very mid-range.
Yeah, very mid-rangey, very thin.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, a lot, very processed,
especially after 1984.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like
84 was probably to me one of his best as far as tonally. He sounded amazing.
Yeah. For me, I think like regular Van Halen, I would go with 1 just because I liked how like more raw that one sounds. That one's just kind of right out the gate. They're still very unpolished, which I kind of like.
It's a safe bet, I'd say.
Yeah, and then so that song and tone. And then I'd say for Van Hagar, like I said, I'm not nearly as acquainted with the Van Hagar stuff, but I think Balanced. It was like 1995, the one with the... that one, I really liked the songs, and I really liked the production on that one, because they finally sounded like Van Halen again.
See, it's been a long time since I actually listened to the Van Hagar era.
Well, just it sounds like such a different band, like sonically the whole thing. Whereas I felt like when they finally got like mid '90s, I think it was Balanced, but that one like the production finally sounded like Van Halen again.
Should.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked OU812 too.
Okay.
There's just some good riffage in there. There's like some good.
Why is that one called that? Like, what is that number? Like, what does that mean? The title?
OU812. OU812.
Oh yeah, okay, that's it. That's not okay.
Sometimes there's you gotta think a little bit past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it now.
Yeah. There was a couple bands that have done shit like that, and it's like, oh yeah, we get it. The parents don't get it,
yeah,
or whatever. But so I don't know. I think I would say that one because I haven't listened to a lot of the newer, what you would call newer Van Halen in quite a while. I should probably go back and listen. But I remember OU812 had some good riffs and stuff in there.
Okay.
That I liked. So
well, sweet.
So that's it. That's what I'm going with. That's my shit.
All right. This one's from Wizard69.
Wizard69 asks, "What are you guys listening to these days? Anything new or new to you?" I think for me, I don't know. I'm not really listening to anything specifically new. I think it's just some newer players within, or not newer players, but the other players within a genre. I mean, like Kirk Fletcher, Matt Schofield, Josh Adams, some of those guys for like the bluesier contemporary stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, then whatever the shit you guys play in here, sometimes I'm just like, oh, let's put that on. Let's see what that's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, recently Jake turned me on to a band called the Black Furs from Argentina.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of doomy, but with like a nice like southerny blues thing kind of thrown in there. So yeah, so far that's the one I've been liking the most lately. There's a bunch of other bands, but they have weird names. They're like Italian and Swiss and stuff. So I don't know what the names are. But anyway,
I'm not exactly sure how to say this.
Yeah, exactly. But the Black Furs, I know how to say that one. And it's interesting. It's funny. They have an album actually called Doomed Blues. So it's kind of funny that it was from like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, it's like Jake and I's are like Argentinian counterparts.
Well, he turned me on to JD Simo. He's
yeah.
He's kind of more in the blues jammy thing. Mm-hmm. He's got a kind of a lot of a little bit going on, and I like what he's doing. So that's pretty cool stuff.
Nice.
So I think that's it for me for right now.
Yeah, oddly enough, I've been revisiting like some of the late '60s stuff, like of bands like before they got shitty later in their career, like Chicago.
Right.
Like early Chicago. I did not realize how great, like they really, especially with...
They're a great band, and I didn't realize that either because, I heard, when I was a kid, it was like horns.
Yeah. Well, that and just like horns. A lot, they have like some just god-awful stuff in like the late 70s, and I think that's what I heard. Like my first exposure to Chicago was that. Whereas like going back to like that late 60s stuff, like they had an edge then that they just don't have later.
Later on. Yeah. A lot of bands, I think that's the situation. Another one that was for me, like Steely Dan. Like I never considered anything with Steely Dan, but I've listened to some stuff and going, that's pretty good stuff. It's it falls into just different categories than what. But we also listen to stuff that's not necessarily always in our wheelhouse. We don't stay stuck to one thing.
Yeah.
We can appreciate the sound of something else and go, oh, okay, it's not really my thing, but I see it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If there's like a good amount of musicianship going on. Then yeah, I mean, I feel like all of us listen just for that for a lot of things.
That's a good practice to have as a guitar player or any musician. Just listening to some other stuff and going, "Wow, that's pretty cool," and I never really thought about it.
Well, hearing even
another one, Fleetwood Mac, like old Fleetwood Mac, like
that's true.
With Peter Green, like that's. I mean, it's more blues based, but it's
great
stuff.
Jake and I on Saturday were playing like their first album was pretty much all blues tracks almost.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff if you like that kind of thing. Great stuff, and then obviously the band they were in the 70s was completely different, but also solid in its own right.
Yeah,
So all right, let's see what else. Where are we going here next? Reverend Dick Palmer.
Yeah,
Reverend Dick Palmer asks, recently watched the JHS video discussing pedals and the colors we assigned to them. Question: we'll keep it short and just 3 pedal types. What color comes to mind for delay, phaser, fuzz for you guys?
So yeah, they were kind of doing, I don't know if you watched that one, but it was like, I think their most recent one. But essentially they were discussing like your colors that you associate with certain pedal types can either be based on like the one that you had first, like the first one you had,
so like,
or it could be like the one you just mostly associate with.
So for me, I would say then it's phaser orange.
Yeah, phaser's the easiest. Like I think phase 90, everybody I think thinks that one first. After that, I would say, like, to me, it always makes me think of, like, space. So to me, I would say, like, black and red and, like, orange, and those kind of colors mixed together kind of makes me think of phaser. Just kind of the swirling sound, I guess.
Yeah.
Somehow makes me think of all those things. But space for sure is what I think of like with phaser. But yeah, I think that one's the easiest one. Delay was another one that also I feel like black for some reason comes to. I guess because of echoplexes in my head, like.
See, I was gonna go like dark green.
Oh,
like a darker green for me, and I think it's probably because like the carbon copy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was like the first delay I ever.
Even like
I ever really used because I wasn't a delay guy, so I guess the carbon copy is the first one I ever kind of really used, and that's why it's just so.
Well, no, that's interesting because even like the Benson Echo Rec, the Space Echo, those are all actually kind of that dark green.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I go with that.
Okay. Yeah, in my head I was thinking, well, I guess because the Echoplex is probably the delay I would want the most in terms of like the old one. So I think in my head like black.
See, and I would go black with fuzz.
See, that's interesting. I think
like Rat. I think old school Rat kind of touched on the fuzz side of things.
Started, yeah.
And then the black Russian, electroharmonics, like. And I think even though, like, the Big Muff, which is silver, but it's silver and black.
That's what I was just asking.
So I think I put those together.
To me, yeah,
that stuff kind of works.
I think I have two colors with fuzz. Like, to me, purple, I think because of the Demogorgon too, but also because of, like, the violet ram's head. So, like, to me, like, silver and purple. And then the song, to me, Purple Haze, like, that was the first time I heard and knew that it was a fuzz. So, like, in my head, the song Purple Haze, like, illustrates fuzz. And so that's another one, like purple. For some reason in my head, I just associate with fuzz. And it's also warmer, like more warm purple, not like a cold blue purple, but, like a
it all
warmer
depends
purple.
On the shades of purple.
Exactly, yeah.
You got to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's a tough one, though, because as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well.
I think in the video, they chose, like the unpainted box. So they went basically with silver or gray for fuzz. And I kind of get it because they were saying like that's the first effect ever.
But you can also look at like the Dallas Arbiter was kind of a bluish.
Well, yeah, and even like I
face.
was gonna say the fuzz faces, and that's why I think Josh goes with like the red germanium fuzz face. So he went with red, but yeah, like those are two. Well, that's funny because blue and red together would make purple. But, so
there you go. Yeah. See. I don't know. Those would be my picks, I think, for color-wise.
Yeah, I think they did at least 5 other pedal types, but at least for us, doing those 3.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
That's just a tough one to kind of figure, so.
Yeah. But I think a lot of it is associative, though. It's whatever you had first.
Yeah, and that's why I think with, like, the dark green for the carbon copy, because that's really that was the first one I ever used.
Mine was, like, the vintage Echo or whatever from TC, so it was black. So that was another one, because it was going for an Echoplex kind of thing, so.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. We're gonna try and make it short and sweet. Who knows what we're up to now? I mean, I can't read the screen.
20-ish some minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think that's more than enough.
Yeah.
To listen to us. So leave us a question for next week. We'll answer it. We got some demo videos coming up. We got that Frankie video coming up. If you like the new T-shirts, this is the Great American Guitar Store. We also got the new Gargoyle Doom shirt, which is super
that has been very popular.
Yeah, we've been selling those pretty well. So if you want to. Check it out. I'll try to put a link in the thing. If not, we're working on our Teespring store. We'll try to put a link down there for that too. And I think that is all the goodness you need for now. Ask us a question. We'll get to you guys next week.
Yep.
All right? Get you guys on the flip side. Peace, y'all.
Excellent! Yeah!